All right. Those who slide in, they are welcome at any time. So good evening, everyone. I am Dawn Thompson, and welcome to the Truth Tribe. All of my tribers, those of you who are newbies, welcome. Thank you for being here. I am grateful for your presence, and I want you to know that I love you all. You are all perfect exactly the way you are right in this very now moment. You are perfect because remember, there's nothing wrong with you. You are all amazing and incredible. And I'm going to prove it to you tonight. Okay. So, message that came in from my guides. It was actually kind of cool for me this time. So, when I went and meditated on this, on what was necessary for us to talk about tonight, I feel like we keep talking about frequency, but it was a different way to look at frequency this time. So their message was, see what we see, beautiful light. And they were trying to show me what they see, but my guides were like, look at what we're looking at. And the message like hit me so hard this time because it's how I've been feeling lately with my circle. So I know they were trying to show me like, hey, we know what you're going through, but we want you to know what we're going through, kind of an experience, right? And so I've been working through transforming through my own shifting along with all of you, right? And so this was the first time when I went into meditation that I had been shown myself in spirit's eyes. Like that is, and maybe everybody meditates and downloads differently. And so I was like, yes, that's exactly, that's exactly right. That's exactly what I've been trying to express. And so I was kind of having my little moment, and I rarely do that with my meditations. But it's kind of like how I was feeling, right? Like if you all could see how freaking brilliant and powerful you are and how incredible your souls are that I see shining, you guys wouldn't even be able to look away at such beauty. You wouldn't. You'd all be like glamorizing yourself in the mirror, right? And I've had this conversation with multiple clients and friends this whole week, probably even the last couple of weeks, right? And it's come down to, it doesn't matter what I see, right? It matters what you guys see. It matters what you see in here, in here, in here, right? And you guys, you are all here at such a rare time with rare gifts. All of you, right? And each of you have this integral function on the grid or the web of the whole. Okay, so that grid that I've taught you all. And your portion of the web is necessary to make up the whole. So your web is important. And if you took it away, the whole would be missing a spot. Okay. And so if you're hiding behind any of your darkness that's holding out for like another person or situation or experience to determine your value, you guys are going to be continually disappointed. Okay. It will never be an easy journey if you're looking for others to give you validation. Now, if you look for your dark spots, and that's all they are in this infinite grid, it's a teeny tiny spot, okay? And because when I look at, this is the beauty they were showing me, I just see this pearl of wisdom sitting there that we just got to look at, and it's not comfortable, right? But I see this wisdom instead of what most people see as this immovable boulder that's like never going to move. And so if you look and you see that your light and your bright soul is no match in strength compared to how powerful you are over your dark spots, you'll never look back again. You'll never back down from your joy and your freedom again. The things that you want, you won't even like think twice about them. And because we're all energy in this quantum field, and I mean quantum like out to the universe and the galaxy and this quantum energy, which we'll talk about more later. So shining your light of strength is your greatest power right now. Why? Because none of you are twins, not even twins. There are no twins on here. That's what I was trying to say. But not even twins have the same soul contract blueprint. When I run a chart, people are like, but we're twins. They don't have the same chart. Believe it or not, even if they're like minutes apart, it's a different chart. So it's time for you all to shine bright like beautiful lighthouses that I've taught you. Okay, how when you're looking outside. Because it's an inside job, it always has been, and from this point forward, you guys are going to start changing, staying centered and saying, well, what do I do? Well, what do you want? Now it goes even more simplified than what do you want, and that was what I posted on social media today was your frequency is your state of being. And I mean being, like, what are you being, right? Okay, so think of it like that. I've observed so many meltdowns in the last couple of weeks due to frequency shifts. Now, I'm not going to go into too much tonight on the Schumann resonance and the solar flares, and that's just a portion on top of the planetary alignments, on top of karma. Okay, so let's just say frequency shifts, right? So this is uncomfortable, basically is my word. I'm going to use uncomfortable. Some of you are like, it sucks, right? It just freaking sucks. But let's just say it's uncomfortable, yet it's necessary for your dreams that you're sending out. Because I know you're all sending out like, I know what I want. I know who I want to be. I know how I want to grow. I want to encourage or expand my spiritual, beliefs or my talents or my body or my mind. Okay. And so the frequency that you all accept in you is the state of being that you will live in. Okay. And so the frequency that you all allow to repeat, those infinite loops, okay, is the decision that you choose to avoid or you want to keep, right? So things that are repeating that you don't like, those are decisions you're choosing to avoid. The frequency that you want is the state that you must discipline with light. Okay, it's a state of mind, it's a state of being, energy, that you have to discipline with light. Okay? Always. Like there's the end of the call. Always, that's it. You need to discipline light into the areas that are not light. Okay, so this is the biggest disappointment for most of my private clients and group coaching when we do this, because they can't believe that the darkness that keeps recycling in their lives is their own doing. At first, then we get through it and they're like, oh, right. And it's not a negative. It's just this is your frequency and your sonar and you're pinging out that frequency, and that frequency that you're getting back is you. So the faster that you guys understand that we are all energy, okay? We're all energy with a free will to change it. Not change my life, change the world. I don't want to change any of that out there. I just want you to change you, your frequency, who you are being, right? The faster that you do that, the faster that you're going to be in the freedom of your truth and living your soul contract. And remember, it's perfect and all special to you, that it's yours. It's your contract, and it's your choice to come in at that grid at that time. Remember, it's a blueprint. Your soul comes through and it goes through the galaxy, through the universe, through the planets, and beep, it imprints whatever's that, and it becomes human. Being a human being, okay? So you're being that soul blueprint, soul contract, okay? So now, when we talk about everything that's been swirling around in the planets and the galaxy, right, you're all possibly feeling kind of this, and the best word I can use because it's what's been coming up a lot, which is mourning, right? Kind of the feeling of mourning at the moment. And this mourning, like a loss, okay? It can be for a physical person, because some people have lost people recently. Or it can be mourning your own toxic personality that's dying. And I know that's hard to hear, but I'm telling you, that's what's happening, okay? Especially all of you guys who have been on these calls. You can't be at this higher frequency and talking, shifting and talking higher vibration and talking energy and then go backwards. So I'm prepping you guys. I've told you this was happening. I told you it was going to come. Here we are, okay? So the big question is, are you trying to resuscitate a dead situation, right? And then the next question I want you guys to think about is, are you continually getting upset each time that you try to give CPR? to that dead situation. And then you feel worse than the last time you tried. It's like you keep trying to like redo it and redo it. And what happens is you're going to get completely disappointed, completely frustrated, and an ongoing battle of like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. And my answer is nothing's wrong with you. Nothing. We're just repeating something that we have to go, ooh, I got to look at this and make a different choice. You are all energy, you guys. Your frequencies have shifted. So of course it's going to feel like death, okay? It's not some other person's fault. It's not what's going on. Someone out there, I told you, who's doing something different or looks bad or mean or angry or dangerous or whatever it is, that's not your frequency. Stop going there because it's not yours. You know, or you feel like you're doing something wrong. You're doing nothing wrong other than making a choice of going, I know this higher frequency is what I enjoy, but all that, how I used to be, who I used to be, when I was in groups, the scenarios I was in, that doesn't feel good anymore. So it's simply, you're now at a new frequency requiring new experiences, okay? So letting go is not now, it's now starting to stare you guys in the face. Like, like I was staring at myself in the meditation in the face. I was like, whoa, that's what they see. This is what I see. You all are these brilliant, beautiful souls, and it's time to shine. And so shining doesn't seem like it should be hard, and it shouldn't have to be hard, but it's simple. Here's the funny part. Many people that I've seen right now are seeing emotions of hate, anger, shame. Those kind of heavy, deep emotions are bubbling up, and it's bubbling up in your language silently in your own mind, or in, you know, I hate this, I hate that, or out loud. People are using that language. I'm so angry. I hate this, right? And so I want you to really, really internally, where are your seeds of hate? We'll use that word, hate. That's something that came up for me a lot in the last month. And it wasn't hating people. It was internal. And we question ourselves. We're like, what? And you don't even hear it anymore. So when I thought about it, I was like, okay, so years ago, some of you may have seen it, some of you may have not, but I did a TED Talk. And it's what brought this topic up to me. And I spoke about how a seed, right? How seeds grow without any instructions. We don't go, let me tell you, little seed, how to grow, right? It just does it. The DNA of the seed and nature, a little bit of water, it's Miracle Grow, right? Mixed together, a rose grows. It doesn't ask, hey, what am I supposed to do? It doesn't look out there. It's just organic and it's nature, right? And so when you allow toxicity near the plant, even like EMFs or electricity or that kind of stuff, or the sun or too much water, it will wilt or even die. That was the TED Talk, right? And then we talked about when you prune it and water it and give it TLC, which, remember last week's call, we talked about time, love, and commitment. It will return. That you prune it down, you cut it back, you clean it, you give it some water and time, and it grows back even bigger and better than before, right? So we know this about nature. We know this about a seed, but we don't give ourselves the same love and the same TLC and the same attention, right? So the pruning is also involved in toxic internal hate. So not just pruning a plant or your environment, but pruning what's going on inside, which is learned internal hate or anger or depression or sadness. These are all learned beliefs, okay? Not organic from nature, which is what you all are. You are all organic. You are all from nature, right? Organic quantum source energy. That's what you all are. So I want you to think about right now, internally, what part of your life has internal dialogue of hate? And it could even be like, you know, and you guys be honest here. No one's listening but you, right? No, I can't hear you. No one here on this call can hear you or see you. But I want you to really, really be honest with yourselves. Okay? ask yourself now, is it, I hate my body, I hate my experiences, I hate my relationships, I hate my life, I hate God. Ooh, that's a big one right now. I'm so mad at God, right? I've heard that a lot from people when they go through painful experiences and want to project it outside. And like it's God's fault, or it's your body's fault, or it's the experience's fault, or it's your spouse's fault, right? I hate that. That makes me so angry. Whatever it is, your word, but we're just going to use hate. So I want you to imagine that if it's hate and anger that's coming up, right? Imagine now it's just the body that's experiencing this from you. So that part of your life, body, mind, or spirit, is going to reveal the wilting that's happening with that internal dialogue. So it might even look like death if you don't replace it with TLC light, with pain, hatred, anger, like you just can't take it anymore. You feel like you're dying, part of you, right? Emotionally, physically, spiritually. So it's very easy for you guys, by the way, to see where you have self-hatred or self-anger, sadness or despair. If you've done work with me, okay, if you guys have done any work with me at all in the past, or if you are an I Deserve It Center member or a private client, just so you know, or you have the toolbox, you have access to complete, or you've already completed your iPod of childhood programming, okay? So it's where adults download their self-hatred. I hate my, into the kid. Now, again, a lot of this is subconscious and they don't even know they're doing it, nor did they say it, nor did they show it, but the energy's downloading, okay? And I bring this up because most of you don't know what happened. Most of you don't know you're doing it. And most of us don't even know we're playing it. And the reason I say that is because there are these indigenous tribes still where shamans live and reside. And these shamans teach their children to understand this concept, never giving them any context of self-hatred or self-denial or anger at self, right? They teach the child from birth to love their bodies, to love their minds, and to love spirit, right? And so to respect their web of the connection of all three. That web is connected, right? So the detriment they teach them of even thinking in their minds, just a thought, because thoughts become things. So they teach them that just thinking that thought could endanger their bodies or their ability to connect to spirit. The mind can connect the body or spirit. And so I hate that thing or that game or that whatever person vibrates such a heavy energy. Hatred is so low on the consciousness scale that it projects that into the being of your body, into your beingness. So your self-hate or anger is your frequency match to your state of being, okay? So this is where this is starting to correlate. How are you being is what beings you are attracting. I want you to think about that. Who you're attracting in your life is you. And this is a frequency match, right? And so, or the experience of being is what you're attracting. So you might be experiencing, you might be constantly, why do I keep attracting, death in my life? Why do I keep attracting, accidents in my life? Why do I keep attracting injuries in my life? Why do I keep attracting illness in my life? Why do I keep attracting unfaithful, or why do I keep attracting liars in my life? Why do I keep attracting, people who are critical, who, whatever, the list could go on, okay? It's because it's your state of being, and it doesn't mean it's the whole you. It means there's a little dot of darkness that I want you to look at, okay? So when you think of it from that angle, you guys, including anger, right, is the state of being inflamed. That's what anger is inflammation, an angry state, right? And it's a match for physical inflammation, Okay, so if you don't see the anger that you're holding vibrationally of a thought or thoughts or thinking that you've had in a whole lifetime, you will displace it to the inflamed or an inflammable part of your body, or an inflamed pathogen, again, even just a cold or an infection, or a person in the external that's inflamed, to show you body, your mind, your spirit. One version will match that anger, hatred, sadness, self-shame, until you make a new choice to discipline your darkness with light. So it is now time to look and lighten up your dark spots. And I'm telling you guys, everybody's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. You don't do it. and I get so like, come on, you guys, well, did you do it? They're like, no. Well, did you write it down? No. Well, did you start making this change? No, but I know it. I believe it. You're right. Well, I don't want to be right. That's what I keep saying. So that's why my guides were like, see what we see. And I'm like, oh, right. So even just throws off your energy, right? Where you're anybody, this was, we'll talk about this later, but you might be feeling like dropsies lately, or clumsy, or tripping, or forgetfulness, or feeling lost for like moments of time. You're like, where was I? Or what was I just thinking? I was going to go do this, and I meant to do that, right? This is the new frequency shift that's happening. So it's shifting you up here, and you were here. So you went, oh, I'm going to go do that. And then all of a sudden you came back here and you're like, wait a minute, what was I doing? And you're over here. We're going back and forth on the bridge of 3D, 4D, 5D, right? And so this frequency shifting is taking you back and forth. Again, the Schumann resonance, all these different vibrational kind of shifting, it's just getting you into practice, okay? It's just kind of, it's training you, okay? And so that's the new frequency shift that's pulling you in and out, right? Yeah, see, someone said dropping stuff. I've been so clumsy. I'm typically clumsy, but I've been dropping stuff, forgetful, okay? So as I've shared with you though, if you don't get tripped, you won't pay attention. If you don't drop something, you won't stop. Like we're doing, if you don't get an injury or sick, if that's what the universe is doing to you, or you're getting connected to that energy, it's saying slow down and pay attention, okay? The earth, the whole earth, you guys, it's shifting frequency to these higher vibes, and you must go with it. Okay, you must go. You're going, right? Now, will you all go on the planet? Maybe not. Okay, maybe some will stay in this frequency state, because the planet, remember, we're not going to a different planet. We're staying on this planet. We're just shifting frequencies where we're lighter in our living. All right. And so some might just be staying and stay miserable and controlled and suffering the whole time. That's okay. This is not the group on this tribe that settles for suffering. You are my disciplined, beautiful, amazing, thriving group. And some of you just may be ready for new discipline. And so the vibration that keeps pulling us off is trying to get us to slow down and pay attention to who you are. Going, slow down and stop. Where are we going? Because we need to look at a couple dark spots, okay? And the thing that gets me tripped up is how simple the discipline to shift your frequency is, okay? It's so simple. So I came up with, I tried to make sure that I'm covering all three, okay? So there's 3 ways to rediscipline darkness into light, okay? So body, maybe your body's getting clumsy or sick or irritated or off. Mind, maybe your thoughts are much deeper than you thought. And they are in very much hatred, and again, I'm using it very lightly, but it could be that light on you. Like, oh, I hate being so tired. It could be that simple. You keep hating being tired. You hate rest. You hate sleeping. So you probably don't sleep very well. Okay, there's inflammation there. It could be that simple. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can do quickly, and we're going to use these because that's what the frequency bouncing is. It's like you're there, then you're not. You're like, I forgot something, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I got it. It's that. It's this frequency shifting. And so you have to adapt to it quickly. Okay. So let's rearrange. Here's the first tip. Tip number 1, to realign your body. Okay. When your energy grid, remember the energy grid around you, there's an energy grid alignment in your meridian state. Okay, so you have meridian lines running through you, and sometimes they just get crisscrossed or like blocked. Okay, and we're feeling clumsy and dropsy. So this is what I had to do, and it realigned me very quickly. I kept tripping and dropping stuff, and I'm like, so my energy just wasn't in harmony. So all you have to do when you are, I'm gonna lift up a little bit here. When you are off, I want you to bring your knee to hip and do this, okay? So what you're doing is you're swinging your arms and you're swinging your knees, but each time you swing, your knee comes up, your left knee comes up, your right knee, left knee, and you go back and forth. And the reason I'm saying this is called crisscross, okay? And so if your right arm is swinging across, your left knee is going across, and you're switching sides, okay? And what happens is if you do this for a minute or two, you'll start feeling more grounded, clear thinking, and improve your coordination. You'll be back to realigning your energy grid. Okay. So that one works for your body frequency right now, because it's going to keep getting pulled and you're going to pull back and you're going, no, right back. Okay. Mental. How do you discipline the darkness? Immediately, like right when you catch it. Okay. All I want you to do is say these words. Okay. I ask this dark, and again, whatever you're having, we'll use anger and hate, right? Could be shame, guilt, whatever. So we're just going to use the word hate right now. I ask that this dark hate be transmuted by my light ball. I ask that this dark anger be transmuted by this light ball, where the light goes in and it lights up the dark. See the light take over the dark ball and then move on. It like took seconds. I ask that my hatred be transmuted by my light ball. That's it. And move on. I ask that my anger be transmuted by my light, and light up the spot and move on. You're just being intentional of saying, I don't have hate anymore. I have light and love. Okay, so that's the mental. You've got to be clear with it. Like, oh, stop saying those words that you catch yourself saying. And you're like, oh, it's no big deal. I don't mean it. Everything is energy, guys, and everything is frequency. And every time you say it inside here, it's pinging out there, and then it's bringing back to you all these situations that are inflamed. Okay, spirit. Spirit's an easy one because I've already taught you guys this, but I want you to remember to light up your chakra river. There's all of your chakras, right? You have several chakras out here with the quantum light. So I want you to, again, take the crystal ball of quantum energy over your crown and then light up, wash away BS beliefs, sour sounds that you listen to, have heard, open up your voice, unzip your heart, bring back the muddy ball from the earth with negative ions in it, pulling all of the sludge and the toxicity out of you, and let it go. Okay, that is the chakra river quantum light. I will send out I'll put out a post again on the on the webpage for members. On your members tool access, it'll be right there for you guys. So you can go open up the additional tools, and the wording will be there for you guys to follow. So you can download the picture, read the words, hold the crystal quantum. And I literally want you to imagine that there's a quantum, beautiful lit up crystal ball with electricity running through this ball. And if you hold your hands right here, even right now, I want you to imagine that ball sitting in your hands. You can feel the energy in it. You can feel the energy in this ball, because that's the quantum field. You just have to think up going, I want this quantum light crystal ball that will be so powerful, it will light up my body and all dark spots so I can remove it. And that's all you're doing, is bringing that quantum energy into the chakras. That basic. Bring spirit into you. Okay? Okay. All right. I'm doing okay. I've got like 3 minutes here to finish up, and then we'll move on to Q&A. So we're going to go to a planetary update because it matches all this. So I love it when it always correlates. So guys, on July 23rd, Friday, okay, this Friday coming up in a few days, is a full moon in Aquarius. There's that word again, and I keep reminding you guys, Aquarius, you just use the word Aquarius and you guys will be on your game of being ahead of everybody else of what we're going through. So it's the cool news. This is what's really cool. I love this kind of stuff when it happens. So the full moon in Aquarius is at 1 degree of Aquarius at the start of the astrology constellation of Aquarius. And there's 30 degrees in every constellation. So if you know your chart, you know that full moon, wherever it sits, wherever Aquarius sits in your chart, go to 1 degree of Aquarius, and that's where that full moon will affect you even more potently. We remember that full moons are about closure, and they're about intention and about releasing and letting go, okay, which is about this whole call has been about what part of me am I going to let die? Now, the cool news is that this is also a blue moon. Why? Because it's only once in a blue moon that we have 2 full moons in a row. And so we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius on the 1st of, on July 23rd, but in July. And then we go into August 22nd, we have another full moon at 29 degrees of Aquarius in August. 2 months in a row, 2 full moons in Aquarius in the same constellation. It's very once in a blue moon that it happens. So when you're wondering when they say once in a blue moon or why is it called a blue moon, that's why. Because it doesn't happen very often and it's happening twice. So what's happening is closure to the sign of Aquarius, which is the masses, which is about whatever is holding back the freedom. Aquarius wills freedom. You're going to put closure to anything that is blocking Aquarian energy so it can rebloom, rebuild, regrow like the seed. It is such cool stuff, you guys. So having 2 Aquarian full moons back to back indicates that they're going to work in harmony with one another, like they're going to work together, like making it more powerful. So whatever it stirs up for you, this time is going to be linked to the next one. So kind of just pay attention to your own, you don't even need to know your chart, right? But it puts emphasis on the Aquarian zodiac, which Aquarius is an air sign. Okay, I know it represents the water bearer and that she's pouring out water, but it's actually an air sign of intellect. Okay, and so the water bearer has a gift of being able to collect water. Okay, which signifies emotions of the world. Okay, so the moon is going to be emotional. Okay, so the emotions of the world into this vessel or this bucket she has. And she transmutes those emotions using the power of air, evaporating it basically in a sense, right? And so the water bearer is then able to pour the ideas and wisdom back down onto the world, bringing a shift in consciousness, personally and collectively. Again, the moon doesn't care who you are. It's going to affect the entire planet, which is so freaking cool, guys, right? So, friends, hear me really. This is such an important thing for you guys to understand. Aquarius is the theme, and it is not dissolving anytime soon. So get to it. And Aquarius is very much the sign of detachment. So it's saying detach from that. You're not going to get rid of your darkness. You're just looking at it and filling it with light. So it's not scaring the crap out of you, and you're not afraid to let it go. And you're not afraid to let those parts of you go, I don't need that anymore. I'm really powerful over here. Okay. So the message of this full moon is it's time to detach and let go of what really needs to die. Really. I mean, really, you have to really let it go. Okay. So it's helping with brightening up your beliefs. That's what a full moon does. It brightens up all the darkness. All right. And so this is where the discipline of darkness comes in, right? Disciplining where that darkness appears instead of letting it take you down. This is where it comes in, where you have to be willing to see it and then bring light to it. Okay. And how do you address this? I want you guys to start paying attention to Aquarius and the masses. So where you fit into the masses try to find balance in trying to be all things to everyone, which is Aquarian, the humanitarian, and having real relationships, right? But that help you stay free and live your truth and free to be at your frequency. And there's balance in that. It doesn't, you have to look at each of your own personalities and say, how do I find balance in the world? Given that it's crashing and burning, which is a really good thing. I know it looks scary. Don't be scared. This is amazing, wonderful, beautiful things that are happening. Okay. So each of you, the best way I can say is to use this where this is pushing us. It's pushing us to the future. Aquarius rules the future. It rules technology. Technology is not going away. It's just going to get better. It's going to be more helpful, which I'm going to bring up the energy in a little bit about how it's helping us. So each of you just go check your birth sign, right? What are you? What is your birth date, right? And what do you do best? So it's likely like what I try to teach people is your greatest gift can be your greatest weakness as well, if you don't learn how to let go of the weakness part, right? And so respect it, or it's going to be your downfall if you're not aware of it. So, how do you fit into the masses? Aquarius is going to ignite that, and it's going to say, where do you fit? And because it rules all the humanitarian, it's going to ask you to keep paying attention to yourself. It's kind of like, where do you shine and where do you need to pull in the reins and not shine too much? Kind of seems like it would be hard, right? So I want you to think about the stallion. You're riding a horse. You're riding this beautiful stallion that can run amazingly, right? But it wants to stop and eat some bad weeds because they taste good, and they're not good for it. And if you allow it, that's what will happen. It will stop and eat. So you must stay disciplined in keeping focused on its gift to run and not let it stray towards its weakness. Like, oh, there's candy over there. I need to eat that weed, the candy. I want to go there. I want to do that, right? So what is its weakness? What is the weakness of your sun sign? Go Google it. That's simple, right? Then ask, as an Aquarius, a good one. Well, I guess it's good for me as an Aquarius. I can share that. I'm very invested in the masses, right? Bringing freedom to people, whether it's freedom for you independently or freedom for the people, freedom from teams, freedom from companies, to show people how they can all be independent but still collective, okay? And so I get lost in helping too many, but then I overextend myself to too many, and then I lose sense of self at times. That's overgiving, right? So yes, it's on me to create balance of yin yang, giving and receiving. You might be a Virgo, right? And so we have to think about that perspective as well. So how does a Virgo? They overanalyze, right? They're the work sign. They're the worker bee. They want to go analyze and help and give. And then they're also the sign of health. So their health starts to, become weakened and pulled on and drained because they're overgiving of themselves, and the health starts to drain. It's that basic of yin and yang. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go into Q&A. And so let's go over the tips real quick. Remember, tip number 1, you got to discipline your darkness, but you got to look for it first. Okay. Number 2, your frequency determines your state of being. What are you being attracts the same human beings. So people in your life, if you don't like some of the people or their activities or how they're acting or their personalities, that's you. Right? So you're going to have to go, no, I'm okay to be around them. This is our last call. Just don't get absorbed by it. Okay. Number 3, allow what needs to die, let go, and rebirth into your joy. It's okay to be happy, you guys. It's okay to be successful, and it is okay to thrive. Like, this is important. All right. Remember the 3 ways to shine your new frequency, to realign your frequency. Crisscross, right? Swing your arms back and forth and let your knees, knee, and just go back and forth. Okay. Just stand there, lift your knee raises, arm swings, and start getting them realigned. Crisscross, transmute dark with light words, right? I cancel this hate or whatever that dark word is, and I transmute it with light. That's it. And then remember the Chakra River tool, which I, again, will post on the site for you on the website, on the members access tool. Check your sign, find balance of giving and receiving. You'll catch yourself. You know exactly what you're going to do. When you start reading, you're like, oh, I overdo that. You're totally right. Okay. Everybody right here. Tap. I am courage. I am love. I am courage. I am love. I am courage. I am love. I am light. All right. So here's your challenge question for the night. What part of your life is dying or needs to, and you can see it, but you're holding back, like you're resisting that? Like, oh, I know I got to let that go. I know I need to stop doing that part of my life so I can have this part of my life. Where do you see it? And I'm going to open Q&A. Comment in the chat on what you're feeling, body, mind, or spirit in this current shift. So anyone who sees that they're like overgiving of their talents, or it's become detrimental, or feel free to share your signs, throw those in the Q&A and I'll start commenting on them. Just people typically will ask me later, and you all start blowing up my phone and asking me like, what's my weak spot? So I'm giving you the chance now. No one can see you guys but me, okay? Only me. So if you're in Zoom, open the chat window, and or you can do Q&A too. I can answer the Q&A. And throw in your sign, or what you see, what part of your sign gets, taken advantage of or weak, and you need to pay attention. Okay. And here's the next question. You guys are going to love this one. Someone just asked, you were going to show us Tesla energy unit. You guys, you want to see? All right. So I had 3 other questions coming in here. So let's go. Let me give you this first. So you guys want to see my Tesla energy unit? This is it. All right. So you guys want to see? This is it. This is my Tesla can. So this is what this is. I know it looks like a simple can, but I'm going to tell you guys, I can feel it. And the best way I can describe what this does, because it's a small version of the bigger versions. Okay. So there's some very expensive versions of this. Okay. I feel like I've drank a pot of coffee from using it daily, and I haven't. I feel more energy. I feel more alive. I have more strength. I have less achiness. And all I do is keep this within 3 feet of me at all times, except for sleeping. I do have a hard time sleeping. It wires me up too much for sleeping, and keeps me dreaming to a discomfort point. So I just don't use it for that. Okay. But this is the Tesla energy can. I know you're like, that's it. But there is charged crystal energy inside of here, and then it's sealed so that it's in here at all times. Now, this is the small version. This is the bio healer. It's for mild to moderate health issues. And again, you all know I've been literally intentionally on a mission to bring up my vibrant physical energy. Okay. The med beds that I explained to you guys that are coming, which I've discussed, are available on the planet, and they're in bigger versions. They kind of look like CT scans. And so they're this energy in these med beds. Now they also sell bigger versions of this, and their units then are called, these are more generators that they're called, right? And it's 100 times more powerful than this bio healer. And so what's fascinating is, now I want you to imagine the future with these, or this, or a version of it, of a bed that heals. Imagine that 10 times this light healing energy. It's a quantum field. So what happens if you're in the quantum field of this, the grid, the power of this is recirculating and resetting the realignment. And when you're in alignment and your grid or energy meridians are in power, nothing can survive that is in a toxic, pathogenic, negative state of energy. So this quantum energy within your body, in your energy field, has to realign. And now it's like the seed. It starts to re-germinate and regrow itself. It's so amazing. And this is the future versions. Okay. This is a small version. It's expensive. But they have bigger ones that are 100 times more powerful, called the Tesla med bed generators, and like 2 large ones of those are like 200 of these. Okay, so imagine the power that it has. And so you're going to see these in the future. So just say, oh, I know what that is. It's energy, it's light therapy, it's energy therapy, and it's quantum field energy that is healing. And so it's going to shift the energy of your body and then allow greater healing at a greater capacity faster. Cool? That's the med. I know everybody's like, that's it. I know you guys were looking for something exciting and I prepped you. It's not that exciting, but I'm telling you, I can feel it. It's, my mom has one. I have some friends and they're like, and they say the same thing. You can't explain it. You just feel better. All right. Next question coming in. Guys, feel free to again throw stuff into the chat or Q&A. Why are we so afraid to look at our darkness? Interesting. Why are we so afraid to look at our darkness? Because as simple as this gets, you've been programmed to only survive, and that's a very limited, small thinking for a long time. So you didn't know it, you weren't planning for it, you weren't prepping for it, right? But now that you're being asked to expand, it goes against your programming. And so if we look at what you know limited, small, those small dark spots are uncomfortable, okay? So the blessing is, the great news is complete alignment with your DNA is like the seed I talked about. When you start paying attention to you and filling in the spots, or at least bringing light to them. I'm not telling you to do anything other than just bring light in to your dark spots. Tell it verbally in your mind, say, I bring light. I transmute this anger with my light. That's it. I know you're like, that's it. That's it. Just like this can. That's it. That's it. Everyone has been trained for so long that there's nothing we can do, that it doesn't work. Well, the quantum field is the future. Quantum physics, quantum theory, quantum energy, quantum healing, quantum fuel, quantum free energy light. I'm telling you where it's going, the quantum. Well, quantum is already here in your hands. That's just hard because you've been told that's not real. And I'm telling you, get ready. Cool? That's why it's hard to look, because you've been programmed that it's not a thing. Okay? All right. Let's see what's next here. Let's see. It says, why is so much changing when it comes to our health? Okay, so because medicine lost its way from healing to selling. That's the best answer I can give you guys. All disease and negativity, all disease and negative energy, as I taught you guys tonight, it's just a voice inside of you that's saying, I'm angry, I hate it, I hate living here, I hate this house, wherever we're at, right? You have to understand, if energy's energy, right? Everything has an anecdote. Even something as negative that is deathly, there's an anecdote to a deathly snake bite. There's always an anecdote in nature, right? So if it's natural, there's always an energetic anecdote to neutralize it, right? And so whatever's negative, there's always a positive energy that neutralizes it. But if you are all healed, think of it this way, why it's all changing and everybody's fighting it, okay? What happens if you're all healed and everybody's whole and complete, and they know how to do it very easily with a can or 50 cans or a $5,000 treatment, and it's over and you never go back, medicine goes bankrupt, right? And it's not dying forever. I'm just giving you an example. And I do believe that portions of it that are keeping you from healing what is going to eventually die as all of your old negative beliefs, and it's going to die into a rebirth into a new, healthy, loving, amazing energy. Okay. And that in itself is what's going to start shifting. Okay. And so, resisting, does that make sense, guys? So medicine isn't changing to the point where it's going to affect you to, that you can't go get help, or your arm gets cut off, or you have an accident and they're not going to sew it back on. No. You're still going to need surgeons, and you're still going to need people to bridge you. But quantum and organic nature, all meds come from a plant source, all of them. We just shifted them to a petroleum source, and now we're going back to an organic source. And I promise the quantum and the nature will come back to healing in some way. So I hope that answers that a little bit. This is where we're going. So keep thinking quantum, keep thinking bigger, keep thinking holistic, healed. I'm already healed. I just needed energy to bring light in. So I'm lighter and ascending on the planet. Okay. All right. Resisting letting go that I'm not that great at writing or creating or doing my own business thing. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, so if someone's telling us I'm not that good at what I do, yet if you look at this person and she goes and looks at her chart, or her son, and she knows that she's a gifted writer, she's writing now for external, right? She's writing now. If she thinks she's not good enough, she's writing for what she thinks they want to hear, instead of writing from her soul's truth. And that's what changes this game, right? You can't write you can't act, you can't do numbers. It's like someone coming to you and say, hi, I want to buy a house. Okay, and you're the realtor. Well, this is the numbers, this is how it's going to work. No, I don't want to do it. I just want to do basic math. And if it doesn't fit into my basic math, I don't want to do that. I don't want to buy the house. But I really want that house, but we have to do it. You have to do it my way, or we can't buy the house. Well, they won't buy the house, because that's not how you break down the math for buying a house. So the realtor knows what they're doing, and they're trying to share. So if they try to do basic math, they will screw up the deal. This is this writer. This writer, if she tries to write what everybody wants her to write, or what she thinks they want from her, she will screw up the writing, because that's not what's coming from her soul. And so when she keeps thinking it has to be a business, instead of just giving out of her intuition and her gifts and her talents, that's coming from within. And when you shine light on it, you go, oh, I hate the fact that I'm very self-critical. I hate the fact that I'm worried that no one will see me. She's funny because, see, I've written 3 books. I haven't promoted them. I really don't care whether you read it or not. I only wrote them because at some point, one of them is going to go viral, right? But up to this point, clients go, remember when you told me? I'm like, yeah, go open book 2 go open Drama Detox on page 42. That's what you need to reread. I just have it as a help for me. That's why I did it. I didn't do it because I was hoping you would think it was amazing. I wrote it because it was in my soul. That's where she's at. So shining light on that is really, really important, that we ask ourselves, what about you do you hate? I hate doing business. I hate being seen as a businesswoman. I hate being seen as a writer, and I'm supposed to compare myself. What is it? Where is that self-hatred or anger? I'm angry that I'm being told I have to do it the way they all do it. If you ask yourself, it'll come out, right? It always does. All right, anybody else? You guys are on the Q&A. I can shut the call down early, but you have me. Anyone have any questions on what's going on here regarding this? So what happens is, if we don't start paying attention during this frequency shift, I'm gathering you guys are going to get tripped up, and you're not going to like it, and you're going to be angry and irritated. Why? Because it's not going your way, or something's frustrating you or upsetting you. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be like, my spouse, this is a big one that's coming up in my client calls. My spouse isn't doing this. It really angers me when they do that. I'm like, it doesn't matter if they're doing it. Then I had another call today. My kid isn't going to behave at this certain event. Well, then why are you bringing the kid? Like, it's an event about you, right? If you're going to work and you need to do something, why are you questioning what everybody's telling you how to do it when you're good at what you do? This fascinates me. Like, I'm good at certain things that I do, and I don't ask for input. I ask for input on, if, again, you all make fun of, like, sometimes you'll catch me on my IDI, my daily morning IDIs. If there's a misspell, it's auto correct, you guys. Auto correct is getting it. I'm joking. But typically I'll get an auto correct it'll switch the word. Gary's like, did you know you misspelled this? I don't care, because you know what my heart and my soul is sharing with you. I'm not sharing, hey, did I write this perfect novel? I'm trying to share wisdom and input and inspire you. All right. And so if you can start seeing it from that perspective, you're going to change the game with just redirecting your energy. By asking us to look at what we are resisting, you're helping us to trip up ourselves in advance. I am. So if you already know where you're going to get tripped up, I know I can get the life sucked out of me by all of you. I can. If someone says, can you help me? Can you help me? And I'm like, sure. Now 15 later, I'm drained because I haven't even paid attention to the number. No, I care. I just want to help. I just want you to feel better. Remember, I'm an Aquarius, the wisdom, the water bearer, pouring wisdom out to shift your consciousness. I just want you to feel better. But now I'm in trouble because I have lost my sense of self to something I shouldn't be doing over too much. So if you don't look at where your weak spot is and find balance and go, oh, I'm going to put light on that and I'm only going to do it a certain amount, you will get yourself tripped up. So trip yourself up by looking. Okay, guys, question. I've been dealing with a sense of impending doom. See, here's another one of like, I feel like something's dying. I feel like we feel mourning, right? Likely a general anxiety. It's a weird anxiety. Like, I feel like I'm about to be destroyed or die or something. Oh, I'm not going to tell you who this is because none of you will know him, but this is beautiful. This is a really, really beautiful stated comment. Why? Because he's feeling what I'm trying to express to all of you. There is a part of you dying, all of you right now. There's a part of you dying that the husband who you thought you were, you're not that husband anymore. The son that you thought you were, you're not that son anymore. The employee or boss that you thought you were, you're not that boss or employee anymore. The mom that you thought you were, you're not that mom anymore. The writer that you thought you were, you're not that writer anymore. You are bigger and brighter and more alive and more quantum vibrant. And if you're living in your truth, it won't matter if people like you or don't like you, because I guarantee the ones who are supposed to be drawn to you, frequency, remember, your state of being, this whole call is about your state. So your frequency will attract how you're being. That's what you will attract. So if you don't let go of the portions of you that you don't want to live in anymore, if you don't let those die, you're going to notice that it's going to feel more uncomfortable because you're resisting letting it die. You're resisting letting that part of your personality die. You're resisting saying, I don't need to prove to people I'm a good writer. I'm going to write what I want. It can be chicken scratches. It can be in some language nobody knows and you still write it. Change the language. Nobody will know what you wrote anyway. Write, because it's in your soul. If this impending doom is coming up, I'm telling you guys, it's coming up for everyone. If there's a party that says, I have to look at my body image, there's a lot of body stuff coming up, conversations I've had this week as well. If I have to let go of the part of my body that I hate or my entire body that I hate, I need to let that die. And I need to say, I love my body. I love everything about my body. I love my hair. I love my hands. I love my arms. I love my legs. I love my stomach. I love my body. Now, if you have a lot of self-hatred for your body, it's going to take a little time, but just sitting and saying that mantra I gave you earlier will be a game changer for changing this. Put your hand on your solar plexus, all of you, and just say the phrasing that I wanted you to say of, I ask this hatred of my stomach, my body, whatever, to be transmuted with light. I transmute this hate, just touch it with light and see the whole thing. You'll be like, your arms will be lit up, your eyes will be lit up, you'll have like, fiery eyeballs. You have to. Now, when he brings this up, I'm feeling impending doom. What is the doom about? Is it that no one will like you? You'll have nowhere to go. You'll have nowhere to live. You'll have no career, no job. Or is it that no one will love you? Right? You have to look at these things and ask yourself, where do I get a lot of anger in my life? That's what needs light. That's where you need light. So you will all resist in the area that you need light. So his comment, thank you, by the way, this is really beautiful. It was really well said, because what he's saying is how everyone feels, but some people aren't verbally saying it like literal words. They're saying it in their mind, right? They're saying it in their mind. They're saying it, I feel like there's part of me that died. I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm gonna die. I had a client that said, I'm not gonna be here very long. I'm gonna die. I was like, well, you're not. You're gonna be here a long time. So does that make sense, guys? Did you guys get something out of it? Don't forget, you have there's so much coming. So do not go to the dark side. Go to the side of saying, I'm going to put light in me, and I don't care what anyone tells me. Dawn told me I'm amazing, I'm beautiful, I'm bright, and I'm going to be a badass in this new earth. Okay? That's where we're going. We are on the dot. We are ended. I will see you guys next week. Remember that I love you. All of the tools, anything I add for the moment is on my website, ideserveitnow.com, in the members access. If you can't get in for some reason and you've signed up for Truth Tribe, or if you can't get into the other access, sign up for the I Deserve It Center membership. That'll give you access to the whole page and all the tools I put in there. If you're looking for what the chakra river, I made a little snippet so you guys can follow the words. It's all there. I love you. Brightest blessings, and I will see you in a week. Take care.